5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Hayward at small forward, with Tatum at the 4. Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Tice in at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Clippers, Ivica Zubac is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. And it's the Celtics ball. Guys, you talk about players coming in and with a huge impact. Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rarely do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum step right in to be one of the top players on a top team of Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
I love the patience Beverley has developed with the ball in his hands. Terrific find.
In the corner, it's Hayward. Back to Walker. Stolen by Beverley. And now the Clippers on the break. Morris, no good. For Boston, they come into this one following a loss to the Bucks in Milwaukee. Tatum passes to Brown. Back to Tatum. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Paul George.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
Your ability to close out on perimeter shooters is so important in today's game.
Now here's Brown. Paul George will get his shot to go. And the Celtics can't hang on to the ball. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks. The Clippers have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Here's Beverley, and that one drops for him.
Explosive first step off the bounce. Beverley has the speed to do this.
And Walker kicks to Brown. Here's Tice. No good on that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Here's George. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
And we know once he gets in the rhythm, he's a really tough guy to stop.
Steve, compare it now to when you were playing. Do teams go deeper into their benches than they used to?
Yeah, they do. I think because of this load management, resting players. So you see a lot of guys play a lot. And also what they've done right now with the G League, being able to bring guys up. They use those guys, and I think it helps a lot, even not on games, but in practice. You'll see that more guys are involved in giving guys rest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hayward against Leonard. Hayward passes to Walker. From downtown, it's hauled in by the Clippers. Last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting unit.
Hopefully they exercise better caution in this game and avoid cheap fouls that could get them in trouble again.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Jermichael Green comes in for Ivica Zubac. Lou Williams is subbed in for Patrick Beverley. The Celtics also changing it up. Cantor checked in for Daniel Tice. And Smart subbed in for Gordon Hayward. Now here's Smart. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And not only was he creating for himself, he was setting up teammates with good shots.
Landry Shamet's checked in for George. Celtics also with a sub. Wanamaker's checked in. Shamet with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And they will call over the back on the play.
Guys, as soon as you start going over and through a rebounder, you're probably going to get whistled for over the back.
Couldn't have been more obvious about it. That's just a lack of discipline, not the way you're taught to do it.
Jackson, he's checked in for the Clippers. Celtics also with a sub. Williams, he's checked in for Jaylen Brown. That's good from Williams, the assist from Green.
In attack mode pretty much every game we see him. This time, Williams getting it done in transition.
Here's Wanamaker, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And the Celtics rebounding well this summer. From the loss of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, Kemba Walker possibly a better fit for this team.
And with their young core, understandable that they didn't want to extend Horford out to age 37. A revamped roster, but I think they remain a contender in the East.
because of his size, everyone tries to get physical with Lou, but he pays it no mind.
Celtics trail by 6. Lets it go with the 3. Williams with the block. Here's Jackson. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Wanamaker looking over the floor. And Cantor able to finish.
Always better to be lucky than good when it comes to offensive rebound. And unless you're as good as he is, then those tip-ins are all about skill.
Jackson gets the bucket.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
For Boston, they've gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Smart. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
For a guy who's still working on his range, love to see Smart attacking on the interior.
Here's Jackson. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And if you look at this first half, overall, they just had the better shot selection.
What they have done is ran their plays all the way through until they get something they like.
Clippers. It's deflected. They get it back. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And Boston has possession. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got his second basket of the game.
A young guy with maturity, awareness, and a feel for the game. Tatum is special.
Good work there as it goes.
They are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Looking at Los Angeles, they took the win in their last game against the Warriors in San Francisco.
So good at the rim. A slow defensive rotation leads to the easy lay.
Shamet the pass to Williams, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Williams has got 8 points.
Despite having a small frame, this is a big part of Lou Williams' game. Taking it up strong.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance.
My inspiration really came from my mother.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Especially at the start. You want to get something positive going and establish your rhythm.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Williams is out there with Williams. And it's Hayward. Then it's Marcus Smart. And it's Wanamaker in at the 1 spot. Here's Jackson. Williams with the block.
The reach of Williams is outstanding. He uses it to perfection to deny shooters. Very rare for players to be elite defenders from the moment they set foot in the NBA, but that was the case for Marcus Smart. A tremendous physicality to go with a pit bull disposition has made him downright scary at times at that end of the floor.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Leonard, he's checked in for Landry Shamet. Paul George comes in for Williams. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Reggie Jackson. Celtics making a switch here. Tice is checked in. You know, Greg, defense a given for Marcus Smart. The growth necessary for him has been at the offensive end.
And now, finally making progress as a three-point shooter. Had already made strides with his passing. He's becoming quite the two-way player.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward-thinking about is always accepting new ideas. They've got a bunch of them on the table in recent weeks. A mid-season tournament, a postseason play-in tournament, maybe even reducing the 82-game regular season schedule. Now, all of these would be very bold moves, but Commissioner Adam Silver has always demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box. Kevin?
DA, great assessment, good report. Thank you so much. Here's Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
I'll tell you what, when Kawhi knifes his way to the rim, it's next level.
Celtics trail by 10. From deep, Walker. Boston again missing. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Daniel Tice. That's his first foul. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the 10-point lead. This is their biggest.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Boston's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Leonard with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. They get it back. Outside for George. Over Tice. Got a piece of it. Pass to Zubac. Just 5 to shoot. Goes up again. Leonard, no luck. Celtics trail by 12. Williams dishes to Walker. And George gets the whistle that time.
Timeout.
That's foul number 2 for him. Marcus Morris is checked in for Los Angeles. And now the first timeout called here for Boston.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers wouldn't land Kawhi, but in the end he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Steve, nothing finer than having a star on your team who also makes everyone else feel better, feel involved, right?
You're totally right, Kevin. I talked to a lot of these general managers and owners, and they talk about they're looking for the unselfish star. Not just the star, the unselfish star. And what they mean by that, on the court, off the court, the guy that understands it's about team versus him. Out of character for him to miss that shot. Maybe just a little too casual there.
Here's Brown. Misses off the left eye.
High percentage look for him. But bottom line, they're not all going to go down.
That one goes. Count it. Leonard's got the lead up to 12 now for the Clippers. The Celtics have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Tice passes to Williams. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Clippers have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. And it's George finishing it off.
And guys, when George gets cooking, you are in for a long night. He's just fantastic at finding different ways to score.
Hayward can hit. Clippers leading by 14. George passes to Morris. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Here's the pass to Tice. And the rejection by Zubac. And that one goes out of bounds. He's touched by Zubac. For the Clippers, Landry Shamet's checked in for Zubac. Williams comes in for George. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And then for Boston, Enes Kanter comes in for Robert Williams. And it's Tatum in for Gordon Hayward. Celtics trail by 16. Here's Tatum. It's rebounded by Lou Williams. Clippers have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. Leonard, rebounded by the Celtics. Brown kicks to Walker. Back to Brown. Latrey, and out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. We get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. You look at the Clippers. Right now, they've acquired the second-best record in the conference.
Yeah, and I think the Clippers, they're well above the position they were expected to be in at this stage. Now the question becomes, can they keep it up in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game in the postseason. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how well suited they are for playoff basketball, but we will find out soon enough.
No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Celtics trail by 18. Buries the long-range jumper. Brown's got 5 points now this quarter.
And that's just tremendous confidence from Brown. Going up with the shot right away and giving the lead no time to react.
Boston making some changes. Williams, he's checked in for Daniel Tice. Marcus Smart comes in for Brown. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Walker.
An incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. Wanamaker misses. Now Leonard. And Morris throws it down.
It's amazing everything Leonard gives you, including the eyes to find the open man. The defense late to react. A beautiful play we just saw.
That will count. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's Los Angeles out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And that's a wrap for our halftime.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. It's been one outstanding game from George.
And he's shown just how adept he can be at creating contact and then cashing in at the line.
It's a part of his game that he can always tap into. There's an art to it, and he is painting the canvas tonight.
We've got Kawhi Leonard. Paul George is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Morris in at the power forward. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers.
And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money.
The Clippers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. That free throw good from George.
A big key to the Clippers' recent surge, the development of Montrezl Harrell. His activity and his ability to score have been infectious for this team, and he also can be very intimidating.
Here's Tatum, and another basket for Boston.
Man, he keeps doing his part. They just haven't been able to get over the hump.
Here's Beverley, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. And the Clippers getting Harrell in that Chris Paul deal. Turned out to be a decent trade for both teams.
You're totally right. The Rockets already had Capella. Harrell was sort of a redundant in terms of skill set. And you can only have one rim runner on the floor before you begin to compromise spacing.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
A little bit late there, but you tried to get into your opponent's head. Forced them to go somewhere else with the ball, and he did that.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Celtics trail by 19. Hayward kicks to Tatum. Leonard with the steal. And he elevates for the slam dunk. Jason Tatum did not like that one.
Well, we know Leonard's an elite two-way machine, but there he shows us the artistry.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Now the spotlight usually is on the head coach. Smitty, what makes for a great assistant coach on his staff in your eyes?
Well, I think when he has a great relationship with the coaches and also he has a great relationship with the players. I also love the assistant coaches that are very detailed, and also some of those guys, they have great insight on what a coach can see. It's still a team, and there's some great assistants out there.
And the Clippers making a change here. Green's checked in.
One thing about Kawhi, when he's driving, he eats up real estate fast with those long strides.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always different. Thank you. Pass to Tice. Lays it up and banks it in. Tice has got 6.
guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
Well, it's a player's league, but certainly coaching has its place.
Yeah, if that weren't the case, you wouldn't see so many coaching changes in the offseason.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Williams is checked in for Daniel Tice, and Smart subbed in for Gordon Hayward. Walker against Beverly. Walker's shot is off. And so Green will bring it up for Los Angeles. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
The reason why they stayed aggressive, and they have not let up this entire night. And at this point, I wouldn't expect them to.
Los Angeles has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
From 17 feet out, it's hauled in by Los Angeles. Morris has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And all quarter long, it's been the same story, inconsistent with his offense.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Smart misses.
That was excellent contest, preventing him from making something that's usually automatic.
Kept alive, goes back up, unloads from 9. Williams with the block. Beverly for 3. But they'll get another chance. Good work defensively by Smart. Down low. And Tatum with a clear path to the hoop.
Huge fan of how Tatum runs the floor. It's almost a lost art. Terrific when he's in attack mode, in transition, putting a lot of pressure on that defense.
Here's George, and he uses the glass on the layup. George has got 18 points.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Landry Shamet's checked in for Leonard. Williams comes in for George. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And then for Boston, Enes Kanter's checked in for Williams. Williams comes in for Jason Tatum. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Walker. Sinks the triple. 7 points for Marcus Morris.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Here's Smart. Kanter trying to free himself up. And Smart with the basket on the assist by Williams.
I mean, that's a good job working the ball inside and getting a quality shot.
Williams. Rebound Boston. Kanter's got 4 rebounds in this game. The kick out to Williams. The 3. Kept alive by Boston. Here's Smart. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. Los Angeles has gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Morris with the bucket.
And a guy with more of a mid-range game. Morris can still jack it up from deep if you give him enough space and time.
Here's Williams, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's his first trip to the line, and the first one at the line is good. And both free throws good for Williams. And Los Angeles guys shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end. Smart on the wing. Guarded by Jackson. Count the basket.
And for people who would like to see Smart take fewer threes, that mid-range J is a welcome sight.
Misses the shot. And so it's Los Angeles holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the... Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Games like this, you find out what you can take with you, right?
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. 4th quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Celtics. Green is out there with Williams. Then it's Enes Kanter. Then there's Edwards. And it's Wanamaker in at the shooting guard. Double team on Williams. Pass to Edwards. It's good.
Beautiful location on the pass as usual. Led his man perfectly.
Los Angeles leading by 23. Here's Shamet, and he banks in the layup. Shamet's got his first basket of the night. Edwards with it, shoots from 12, and the shot is long. Outside Jackson, off target with his 3. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Celtics. Cantor kicks to Williams. Goes to the reverse layup and claps it in.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Here's Shamet. Over to the left wing. Patterson can't get it to go. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And finished off by Williams.
Any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Great job of reading the floor, got to the rim, and made a play.
Chalk up 2 there. Now a timeout called by Boston. And fan heckling that crosses the line, Smitty. You saw the Utah Jazz ban someone for life. How can the NBA do a better job of protecting the player?
Well, Kevin, first of all, I think each organization, let's take our hat off to the Utah Jazz. They acted swiftly and quickly, and I love what they did. They banned the fan for life, and I think you got to get more of that. And also, I think, you know, as far as the NBA and also along with these teams, have some kind of pregame, or like you said, before the season starts, just reinforcing and stating the rules.
Pass to Tice. The Celtics working the ball around now. Walker's shot is off.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game. Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Wanamaker, that falls. Nice feed that time from Walker.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Clippers leading by 23. Here's Beverly off on the layup. Here's Tatum, and the rejection by Zubac. Beverly for 3. Score the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
Strong three-point shooter throughout his career. Can't afford to allow Beverly much room from out there.
And there's the bucket from Tatum.
Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Let him decide whether to shoot it, whether to pass it. He's your catalyst right now. Well, you talk about someone who's an absolute piranha on defense, and that is Patrick Beverly. Gives you no room to get comfortable and is a thorn in his assignment side.
And Smitty with Beverly and his defense, it's not like he turns it on or off.
Nope, he's always going full speed on defense. It's been his calling card as a player for years now, and it's what he's made his name on in the NBA.
And the pass to Wanamaker. Banked in off the glass. Wanamaker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
To the middle, here's Beverly. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
I like seeing Patrick Beverly attack the interior. Sometimes he becomes too perimeter oriented.
Tatum drives in and slam dunk by Tatum.
Skying high, one of his advantages as a undersized 4.
Los Angeles has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here on the floor. And it's blocked. Inside, and it's sent back by Leonard.
Yeah, that shot gets jacked. Great anticipation by the Claw.
So both teams making some changes here. 1:44 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Edwards, that's good.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
And you know what? There was probably a better matchup on the floor, but when it goes in, nobody complains.
And that one is good from Zubac.
Excellent timing on that play and a wonderful pass.
And stolen by Patterson.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Los Angeles.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so checking out their season record, this game will become their 45th win.
And you could tell they were ready for this one today, guys. There was something extra on the line, and they wanted it.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Leonard.
And how many times throughout the course of the evening did he make a momentum-changing play? I thought his relentlessness really keyed their success.
Joakim Noah is checked in for Zubats. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. That is his first foul of the game. The kick out to Williams. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Magruder passes to Williams. And another three for the Clippers.
Inspired tonight. They fought hard and at crucial points just made the plays.
Especially during this last run, which ultimately put the game away.
And the Clippers have possession. Pass to Magruder. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
An impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
They gave the team tremendous energy tonight. The fans were fantastic. It was a true home court advantage.
Yeah, the defender all over.
And that one falls for Williams.
Another thing coaches love about Williams, he's a high percentage free throw shooter who gets to the line often.
And it's Williams with the ball for the Boston Celtics. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. The first free throw is good. Both shots good from the stripe. Here's Magruder to the wing on the left. Here's Mann. Nailed from three-point land.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
You know what? They talked about this.